Yes, my warriors in the garden. Welcome back to another episode of the Halftime Podcast, brought to you by TheBhoys. We're back. We're back, baby, and we're back with a bang. I'm back with the usual suspects, full house. So, we've got some games to talk over. We got some other topics, some juicy topics. And if you like what you're hearing, you're on Spotify on your way to the work, you got your coffee in your hand, drop a little like on there, drop a follow on our Spotify, drop a follow on all of our socials. And without further ado,
not whilst driving though. Make sure the car has stopped before
no,
you follow.
no.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Full disclosure, you have to do it whilst driving. Obviously,
I was going to say, if you hate your life, you may as well just do it whilst driving.
Exactly.
No drink driving either.
Preferably in a built-up area with a school near.
Oh, say that.
Without further ado, we'll go into the first topic, which is Tottenham's flattering result against Leicester. To be honest, they were bloody diabolical. Kieran, talk to me, brother. What? Come on, man. I know 6-2. Heung-min Son's back, but fuck me. Come on.
I mean, if we could be diabolical and win 6-2, then I'm happy. But and I'm using the word tax for most of our performances. We normally batter Leicester, and they are fucking woeful. So realistically, the only sort of positive is obviously the Sun performance. There was a lot of people talking before the game. Eyes been dropped. If you've watched us, you knew that was absolutely the right call, and possibly a few weeks too late because it is just not worked for him. And it's just one of them moments where it works out perfectly. He gets dropped, comes on, scores a 13-minute hat trick. I mean, in terms of sort of sorting himself out, he couldn't really hope for much more, to be honest. Especially going into the international break.
Do you think he's going to kick on from now, or do you think he's going to go into?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's him for the season? Sorted.
Did you see his emotional relief when he scored? He just stood there like he was playing stuck in the mud, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's guaranteed.
I don't think he does kick on.
I don't think it's guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed, but I just think that weight lifted off his shoulder by getting that.
I get that, and he scored his hat trick, but there were probably another 4 or 5 times where he had the ball.
He was still terrible.
Had the ball in dangerous areas, and it just bounced off of him. He made the wrong decisions. He scored 2 absolute wonder goals, and his third goal was I can't remember it, but
he's one-on-one.
He should have done better.
I think it gives him confidence, but I don't think you can.
It's as guaranteed as you're saying it.
I don't think he kicks on.
The issue that I had with it was rightly so. He was dropped, like you said. Probably should have happened 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah. Conte's obviously tried to play him into the squad and into the system, into form. Yeah. Richarlison started, didn't have the best of games compared to when he's been coming on as an impact. He's been coming on and he didn't.
I think he was all right.
Compared to what he's been impacting the game as?
He was better than Kane. Kane was non-existent.
Every single player on that pitch for the Spurs team were fucking shit until Conte said, right, you know what? We're going 5-3-2. Until that moment, they were absolutely fucking awful.
None of them were
good. I mean, to put it in perspective, Leicester outpassed Spurs by like 200, 250 passes, which I know it's only a random pass stat, but you're playing Leicester, bottom of the table, they're absolute fucking dog shit.
And you're at home.
That 5-2-3 formation is horrid. It's absolutely horrid.
It's Karen, sorry.
I was going to say, one of the biggest things from that second half was the formation change, where suddenly we had Kane and Son up front. Obviously, you think of a midfield 3 of Basuma, Højbjerg, and Bentancur, think, God, that might be a bit dry, but it worked so well in terms of giving the space to them. So I don't know.
You needed it to even just get on the ball because you couldn't fucking get a grip at any point.
That's the thing. Obviously, I'm happy with the result, but I was sitting with my mate in about the 65th minute, and I was like, "There's a Leicester equaliser coming here." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you weren't playing bottom of the table Leicester, like that game could have been gone.
Yeah, we could have got punished.
You made Leicester look competent, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Like there were points in that first half where they were still. Like we said during the watch long, it was like a proper mid-table off the way the ball was just getting given away, or bottom of the table off the way the ball was getting given away. But even at points, Leicester actually looked like an all right football team.
They looked comfortable. In that first half, they looked comfortable to have the ball. against Tottenham away from home, and they just look comfortable.
Defensively, they're still absolute pony.
I was
they are.
I was talking to someone
Fuck,
about it today in regards to Leicester and how horrifically they start the season, right? And I didn't actually realise until he mentioned it today. But if you look at Leicester's fixtures, right, they've played Brentford, who have started relatively well for their second season. Yeah, I mean they got a point there. Then they played Arsenal, who are currently top.
Yeah.
Lost to Southampton, probably a poor result. Then they play a Chelsea, a United, a Brighton, and a Spurs. So even though those 4 games alone, with Brighton their current form,
1 point though.
They're not.
No,
From 7.
They haven't had the easiest. Yeah, they haven't had the easiest run.
Don't get me wrong, but we almost have this like persona of Leicester that they should be that top 6, which obviously they have for the last. Well, they didn't last season, but the season before, obviously they were there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
But still, those run of forms, it's still 1 point from 7. It's still a bad start, but it's also not an easy run of fixtures besides the Southampton. Yeah,
it's salvageable.
Obviously, I don't think they're actually going to be in like a relegation battle. Or they could possibly, but I think they'll turn it around. But the thing is, I was watching another footballer YouTuber, because we're not giving out promo, and he was saying that so far they've had 4 different centre back pairings. Obviously, that's what you need to build your base from. Do you know what I mean? Your centre back pair partnership. Losing Cash for Schmeichel, I don't think they quite grasped how fucking huge that was going to be. So it's just.
Especially with the keeper they replaced him.
I think
shocking.
Oh
God,
he ain't great.
I think we said it a couple of weeks ago, but the fact that Vardy is still starting or was still starting, besides I don't think he started last game against
Brighton. It's like the last 2,
I don't think
that performance from Daka. I understand why he starts.
But still, that's 5 weeks or 5 game weeks where a 36-year-old, 37-year-old Jamie Vardy is starting over a mid-20s Daka or Iheanacho. I think Brendan is borderline. Obviously, he's panicking. He's just trying to throw anyone and everyone, just see where the results are going to come from.
You know, I did say during the watch along that with the way Leicester played and the way that like they got bad, that should be Brendan's last game in charge. I think he's been saved by this international break so far. Not only that, when you do deep it a little bit, no recruitment. They've lost their club captain and goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel. They've got Fofana. They've got Vardy, who's only getting older. And don't get me wrong, coming into the Premier League at 27, he has done fucking wonders for them. But that's not like 27 and 37. There's a big fucking difference. And then they've got Tielemans, who's going to be gone. He's last year of his contract, right?
Yeah.
You've got Maddison. Maddison's like, let's just write him off. Some clubs coming in
for another club.
He's literally putting in.
When you think all of this was a build-up. It wasn't just a snap, gone, like all in the space of a week. There was a build-up of all of this happening.
Rodgers has been shafted.
The thing is, he'll be able to leave and go. Couldn't really do much else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He's been left up the creek without a paddle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing I think, one of the things why you see, I think they can't afford to pay out his contract.
If they lose to
15,
Forest,
20 million, isn't it?
If they lose to Forest and they don't sack him, it's purely down to money.
I looked up his contract. I looked up his contract, and his weekly wage. I don't know whether it's fully true, but 105 grand a week and contracted till 2025. Yeah. If they were to fully buy that out, if they went right, Brendan, you go in, and Brendan went, I'm not negotiating. You got to pay the full sum. It's near enough, just over 15 million.
That is stinky.
Yeah.
And if they haven't got 15 million to buy a better fucking keeper than Ward, the club's in trouble.
But
Lord knows.
They lost Kasper quite late though, didn't they? Into the window.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
like a week or two before. Like,
but that also happened with
who went to Fulham. Do you know what I mean?
On deadline day, wasn't it?
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, could have gone for that.
Options were there.
What about Ben Foster?
Exactly, the cycling GK Midlands.
Fozzie, mate. Exactly. He'd have loved it.
We can give him promo.
Yeah, we can give him promo. He's a good
Fozzie.
Yeah.
You know right now the Leicester owners
gives you a bike, you prick.
If you want a collab, email in the description.
I've got to have some fine words with you because you didn't join Newcastle, you prick. Right?
Well, I don't think Newcastle gave him the money you wanted, did they?
No, they did.
They were going to.
He asked for a ridiculous amount,
hoping they'd say no.
And they just went, yeah.
They said no, and he was like, sweet. And an hour later, the agent said, no, I think we're getting close. And he was like, he said, my heart.
Shit.
When was that?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Like after the deadline, but when Dubravka was going to
didn't Darlow get injured as well?
And Darlow got an ankle injury.
Yeah.
The day after, Newcastle rang his agent and said, right, we need him on a short-term contract. His agent's gone to him, right, Ben, big news. Newcastle have come calling. And he's just turned around and went, right, tell them I want this much. And basically whatever negotiations have gone on, Newcastle got back to her and went, okay. And he's gone, shit. I do not want to drive 4 hours to the northeast to go training and sit on the bench.
Mate, I watched part of his video, and the reason it was X amount is because he'd have to rent out a flat and go up 4 or 5 days a week anyway.
Well, that's the thing, because it's not a commute. It's not a daily commute. You can't spend 8 hours driving a day.
No.
To go and do a couple of handling drills.
What do you reckon that contract he asked for? What do you reckon it was?
It's got to be 40.
I'd probably say 100 grand a week.
How much was he on at Watford?
Probably not that much. Probably less than
I reckon about 80 grand a week.
Yeah.
Considering Championship wage, what is it? Average is like anywhere between 20 and 35, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the top players, for the top senior players would be on that, and he would have been on that.
Yeah, he was on 30.
There we go. So I reckon he would have asked anywhere between 60 to 80 grand for a short-term contract. And the fact that we've turned around and went, 6-month contract? Yeah, come. And he's still
shit.
I hope you get a puncture.
Going back to Leicester though, do we think that they're going to hire private investigators to dig up dirt on Rodgers just so they can sack him free of charge? They're going to have someone following him home and shit and sift him through his bins.
You know what? The thing
with
Rodgers is that I don't think Leicester are going to sack him yet. I don't think they can afford to sack him yet.
They'll give him the year, I reckon.
Rodgers is a decent manager. He's a decent manager. He wasn't backed in the transfer market as we discussed. But I think the weird thing is that you look at his like post-match interviews and stuff like that, and it looks like a man that just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah,
it looks like he just wants a break from football. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
How long has he been in football?
A long time. You think
he started young.
He's not a young boy, is he?
Yeah, too fucking long.
No, he's quite young for a manager still.
I think
he's early
50s.
He started young because he did Swansea. Remember, he's 49.
Oh, he's 49.
Swansea, Liverpool, Celtic.
He'll be alright in the footballing world, but this is.
Oh yeah, mate. I feel like he's getting disrespected a little bit because this guy won them their first ever FA Cup. Almost secured.
100%.
Yeah, he bought it at the end, but the guy almost secured top 4 with Leicester.
I don't know. A lot of it came from the owners as well. A lot of it came from the owners as well. But like the connection that the Leicester have,
they've constantly made money from selling players and rebuying good ones. I think he's being done.
The Leicester fan base is very, very loyal to who's there right now. I don't think it would go down that well even if they managed to sack Brendan and pay off the rest of his contract. It wouldn't go down that well. Not only that, but they've just invested a shit. No, they've just invested a shit ton of money into their training.
No, from what I've seen, I listen to TalkSport every morning on the way to work, and they've done a couple of bits on Leicester so far, and they've had call-ins, and the Leicester fans seem quite sympathetic with him, and so they don't.
Right, yeah, he's been.
They basically say who else is out there, like I think one caller called up and was like, "You look the year. I know the year that they won the Premier League was a freak year, but even after that, they still played good football. They still done pretty decent. But the year before that season at Christmas, they were dead bottom, winning one game or something like that. So I mean, I think it'll have not. I don't think he goes anytime soon, to be honest.
It's probably not.
Tony
The only option is Sean Dyche, but do you risk it? Sean Dyche is notoriously known for playing a negative, like anti-football.
to not
But
lose.
is that because the players that he's been dealt in his past jobs?
Yeah,
At Leicester you got a bit more class there compared to what you had
Slight
at Burnley.
tangent. I was going to say, if someone like Dyche came in, would he adopt a more entertaining style of football with the players at hand?
Probably not.
I think he'll be so used to. Obviously, he was at Burnley for however many years. I mean, I don't think.
But he was. I mean, go on. Sorry.
I don't think giving him better players is suddenly going to make him think, "Fuck me, I can finally play like prime Barcelona." Like he's going to set up in a way that he knows it's got him results, regardless of personnel.
Because as much as you said that you think Leicester will turn it around, I think the clear message from Leicester is we can't invest in recruitment right now. So if they're playing this way with the likes of Maddison still having world-class games where I know it's easy to stand out in that team because a lot of Leicester are mediocre, but they've started off the season with these players in this form. By the time January comes around, we're expecting Tielemans gone for pennies because he's in the last 6 months of his contract by then. Maddison, if a top 6 club does not get Maddison, it's going to be a similar outcome to Tony, where they've lost out again in another window on a fucking unreal player. If they lose those two, you can't say that they're not going to be battling for relegation.
Can they afford to let them go if they clearly? I don't know if they are going to reinvest. They didn't have enough time with Fofana, went super late. But if they can't reinvest, or say they want to sack him, they can't afford to sack him. They can't afford to let Maddison go. They could be in danger if he goes. I think.
I think it's going to get to a point where they hold on for so long, and he's just going to see the rest of his contract out. I don't know how long he's got left. But
is that, or you're in a scrap to stay up?
But Maddison, the articles that came out after the window closed was obviously Maddison really wanted to move away, and obviously Newcastle were very interested, putting a couple of offers for him, and he apparently really wanted to move. If they're in this form and you're playing like Maddison, surely when January comes round, you don't just say you want to leave. You kick up a stink to get out. He's handled it very well in the way that he's increased his stock by playing the way that he's done.
He should be going to a top 6 team as well.
He should do, yeah.
He should be playing the Champions League. Top 4 team. He should be playing the Champions League. He's awesome.
Just want to say my last point out with James Maddison. I felt so bad for him. If anyone watched the interview after,
yeah,
I think it was Jeff Shreves was like, "Oh, obviously devastating loss here. And you didn't get called up for England. Bit of a rough week." And you think, you prick. The man's probably at the lowest point he's ever experienced, and you're just there poking him, trying to get something out of him.
Just quickly, do you reckon yes or no? Do you reckon he's earned an England call up for this specific camp?
When Mason Mount's in there, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, easily.
I know that Southgate's philosophy is this: work hard, fucking run your. No, we've got a lot of creative players, and Maddison fits that threshold. If Mount's in that team, and we've got players like Bellingham coming through, Rice being a staple point of that midfield, there is absolutely no reason why Maddison is not on the same level as Mount when it comes to.
He should be in the squad.
We're gonna go through what our starting 11 for Friday would be with the England game later on in the podcast, but I come up with my starting 11 already, and there's one position in there that I've really had to think hard about, and it's the one position that Maddison would quite easily slot into and be perfect there.
Hey, I know
we'll discuss that in a bit.
I know they're different players, but fuck me, Henderson got called up, and Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, because of the injury to Calvin Phillips.
But we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Calvin Phillips, the shoulder injury, didn't he?
But yeah, we should.
When he came on for 20 minutes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Poor boy.
But yeah, Brendan Rodgers, your days are numbered, kid.
Kids.
49-year-old Matt.
Enjoy the holiday when you get sacked. Private investigators are literally sifting through your bin, checking your Chinese order.
They're going to see a brown envelope and go, "Yes, we've got him." HMRC through the little see-through bit in the envelope.
But I mean, moving on to another fixture. Watch it like Arsenal Brentford. Obviously, as a Man United fan, pissed me off even more because Brentford looked shit.
Brentford offered nothing.
They literally offered nothing. Anyway, Arsenal fans.
Arsenal get credit for being so far superior.
Arsenal
were
were
fucking
phenomenal.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Because
And
I mean,
it pains me to say that.
you saw it in the first minute at kickoff. I think it was like 2.5 minutes long where we didn't give them the ball and we should have scored from it, and it was much like that the whole game. I mean, we absolutely blew them out of the water. I think every single player on that pitch for Arsenal was awesome.
If I'm in that back line for Brentford, right, and I'm being fucking teased for 88 minutes, and I see a 15-year-old come on, right, I'm getting in my car after the game, right, I'm putting my foot on the accelerator and just aiming for the nearest brick wall. They were absolutely shambolic.
On a much more positive note, what a moment for that kid, though.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What a moment.
So many people are so angry. A fucking kid got to. Oh, Jesus, get over it.
You know, just like, fuck me. Is there no joy allowed?
I don't know what you're on about. I think it's disgraceful.
In terms of the topic where his life has totally changed, that is a fact. And he needs to be managed. But
wait, Jim, what did you think?
Teasing, mate.
What did you think, Jim?
I think it's disgusting. Think of all the girls you can get at school now.
Look, some of the points that some pundits made regarding the situation were wild, but some of them made sense. You know, the whole simple fact is his life does change now. You know, he only got called up to the under-21 squad a few weeks ago, and he played in the game, and he provided an assist where he absolutely skinned one of the opposition. I mean, skinned. And he got called up this week, which was down to injuries that we had. We had a fair few injuries, but I mean, his life does change now. You know, we ain't talking some kid that plays for a League Two team. We're talking for a kid that plays for one of the biggest teams in England, one of the most not hated, but more like, you know, they have rivals. The kid lives in North London. You know, he's a 15-year-old kid. He's going to come into contact with Spurs fans, with Chelsea fans, with jealous people and stuff like that. So in that regard, his life does change, and you know, because everyone, you know, every 15-year-old kid's probably going to be jealous of him now.
I agree with that, but you can't keep him. You can't keep him cuddled forever. Like,
no, of course you can't.
This could happen. Right, he is 15. He's now been given this massive spotlight on him wherever he goes, right? And bear in mind, he's out in public a lot more than the average 24, 25-year-old
that plays
at a club. Yeah? No, he won't be now. I'm sure that he's sitting in a little cupboard somewhere doing his chemistry, right? But this kind of, like, when you go into this sort of way of life, like the professional athlete,
that's what you want.
This is something that you are trained for. The minute that you're in an academy and infrastructure like this, I'm not saying that it's not good. Like, he might react horribly to this. He might walk into school and just fucking shit himself. Like, oh, why is everyone wanting pick? Like, but this is his dream.
Yeah.
He's not walking off that pitch thinking, oh shit, what if I get noticed in physics? Oh no. Fuck off. Let the kid enjoy his moment. Let everyone, like, 15 years old, enjoy it.
And the thing is, TalkSport don't give a fuck about his welfare. They're praying that he falls off, so they can be the first ones going,
to talk about.
Oh, look at him, he's not doing this. You just like, and I think it was Jason kind of going,
prick.
Oh, it's all about Arteta.
Shocky's a fucking United fan as well.
He's Chelsea.
Wait,
Chelsea, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, Jason Cundy's Chelsea.
Who was it that made the first point? The first point that was like, surely there's someone older that could do it. Maybe I still think he's been a killjoy, but the Jace, that one you just said, that is
whoever said that. Sure, there's an 18-year-old. The kid came into the team that plays the 18-year-olds and got started. There's a reason why he got called up to the first team.
No, definitely.
Say it's about Arteta, though, is embarrassing.
I think Arsenal is probably one of the better clubs to be doing that at in England, just because of their size.
They were renowned for it under Wenger.
Just like because of their size, they know how to manage, they know how to protect and also coach. The three main things that obviously are your biggest worry when you let a 15-year-old kid in that kind of spotlight. I think Arsenal is probably one of the better clubs you want that to happen at.
I mean, let's talk about. I've got some bits that I want to say on Arsenal, but I mean, we've done the watch along on Sunday, and we sat there and we discussed Brentford for a little bit, and for some reason, whenever your team play against Brentford, you kind of sit there and think, oh, this could be a tough game. You know, this could be quite difficult. But are they really that good?
They're so hot and cold. They're so hot and cold. It's bizarre.
Only for the first 45, and I'm not taking any credit away from Arsenal because they were in that 45, they were good. But every time they even got near your third, every cross, even simple passes down the line, touches were just everywhere. Crosses were hit back stick, went off for a throw-in because they didn't even bounce in the fucking box. Little 1-2s. The second pass would just go flying off for a goal kick. Tony had one from a corner, he touched it. Doink went flying. They were pony in that first half.
I genuinely believe they had just had a bad game. There was times where they made the wrong decisions. There was a moment I remember clearly. And Chaz said, obviously, we walked them off the park, sort of thing. There were times where they just played the wrong ball, and if they played the correct ball, we were in trouble.
We were in the first half.
It was the gap between Saliba and Gabriel was humongous.
It was Tony
and I was like,
off one of them.
He should have gone through the middle rather than.
He should have gone through the middle, but he played the wrong ball.
It seemed like every time the ball dropped to them, they didn't get their head up and go right. They just fucking kept it down and just fucking hoofed it. Just hoofed it every time. And there were so many times that I was getting fucking wound up watching it because I was like, just lift your head up. You don't realise how much space you're in. And they just, don't get me wrong.
Kind of like what Chad said. Like, are they that good? Because I was just curious. I was looking, except from the I feel like they live off big performances, like the United game. Because I've just looked, they've only beat Leeds since this season, except for United.
That's exactly what you said. What I saw in that first
Leeds
half
because of the Tony masterclass.
Yeah,
realistically,
Tony was. I mean, they were all silent, but I don't think Tony even won an aerial duel on Sunday.
No, I was just about to point out the composure from your defence in that game. Bearing in mind, you're going up against the most physical side in the Premier League when it comes to height, aerial balls, duels. Yeah. You saw what they did to United when they had a lackluster midget at centre half. Now he's turned into a little pit bull. But the way Saliba
it's not too
literally dominated from the back awesome. And then just allowed people in front of him.
Do you know what? Saliba was fucking awesome, man. It wasn't even so much his defensive ability. You look, it was for the third goal, I think. The ball came across to him from Gabriel, and Saliba miscontrolled it, and it was going towards Tony, right? And instead of panicking, his Cruyff turned Tony. He's played a pass into the middle of the park, and got the two back by making a run. Passed it out to the wing, and we've scored from it. And it's just a bit of, the kid's, he's 21 years old, and he really does look effortless when he's playing football. I mean, he had a class game. He had a really good game. But in that, go on.
No, finish point.
I was going to say in that first half, Sid was saying about they were getting the ball and they were just pinging the ball forward. I feel like a few teams try to do it to us now, and they try and target our fullbacks and they try and ping balls down the line and stuff like that. And we got Ben White playing right back, who is normally a centre back.
He's been class as well.
And in my opinion, Ben White's been one of the best right backs in the league this season. He's been awesome. He's not put a foot wrong. Who else? I said one of, not the best. One of.
He
hasn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah, got turned inside out by Rashford.
I've seen him get turned.
I was going to say, oh my God, he hates playing against United. To be fair, though, even for Brighton, we'll let him off that one.
I mean, you look at United game. Yeah, we lost 3-1, but I think everyone in here will agree we were far superior. It was just one of those days where we played a high line and nothing fucking worked.
Yeah, you reverted back to Wenger ball, mate. But anyway, that was in the past.
I said it at the weekend, but. It was very difficult to say one Arsenal player that was even average or even below average. I think I said the weekend the only kind of positions that you can really say for Arsenal is a potential, not even a weakness, but the lowest skilled you could say is probably the fullbacks. Probably why people try to exploit them.
All I think that exploitation of fullbacks came from that first game against Palace.
Yeah,
where they utilised it. I think from there people did. Obviously, you'll be studying film of teams, but people will try and utilise that. Obviously, Zinchenko's not the tallest, White's not the quickest.
But
obviously, it's a little bit different when you've got Zaha up against White.
Yeah. But even so, White, Zinchenko, and obviously the other one, Tierney, when he's played, they've still been very, very good this year or this season.
it was like we said, every Arsenal player was really, really good. Saliba was excellent, but I mean, the best player on the pitch by a country mile was Granit Xhaka again.
Yeah.
He has been our best player this season. He's been
that
unreal.
assist.
Oh mate!
Oh my god!
Was that the first goal?
Second goal. But even his link-up play with Martinelli, where he should have scored.
I just think he's been finding that that position where you watch a team play and you go, if only there was someone there. If only there was someone in that. And when Arsenal play, it's always Xhaka. He hasn't got to be near the ball. He's always in that position now. With the freedom that he gets being able to go forward, the link-up play between him, Jesus, Martinelli on that left side has been so dangerous, even when none of them are near the ball. Because if it goes to that side...
Yeah. But I think that also shows you how important and how much better we are when Partey's in the side. You look against United. Was it against United he didn't play?
Yeah.
Lokonga, and Xhaka was it was more of a 4-2-3-1 than it was a 4-1-2-3 or whatever. I mean, when Partey's in the side, it's a completely different team. Yeah. Completely different.
I think with Xhaka, I don't know when it was released, but I think it was an interview of something, or it was the All or Nothing when he released that interview and he said being the captain of Arsenal is just like that pressure on your shoulders. And obviously, I think it was last season or the season before where he just nothing was going right for him. He had red cards, he had substituted off of the first halves and whatnot. I watched that. I felt fucking sorry for the guy because
four seasons ago he took his shirt off and threw it on the floor for the.
Was that 4 seasons ago?
3 or 4 seasons ago. He threw the captain's armband on the floor, and now I said it last year, and I see people on Twitter say it a few times, and some people laugh at it. But Xhaka is one of our most important players, and I think it's becoming even more evident this season. He's fucking awesome. Obviously at the weekend we didn't have our captain in Odegaard.
I was going to say he captained, didn't he?
He captained, yeah. We had Fabio Vieira instead, who scored.
Oh, that was a good goal as well.
Peach of goal. He had a very good game. I think all round Arsenal were very good, and Brentford fucking absolute dog shit.
Who did Brentford have next? Is anyone know?
Bournemouth. At Bournemouth.
Oh, that's a 3-3.
No, it's not. It's not 3-3 at all. Bournemouth have only lost to the biggest teams in the league currently.
Regarding Arsenal, just one more time, after the start we had, after the 5 games we won, it all started coming out that we've had the easiest start to the league statistically from teams last year, which is fair enough. But I've seen some stuff after the Brentford game about people continuing to talk about how we've had the easiest start by far and stuff like that. And I saw on Twitter some stats. And you look at the top 6, the big 6, and this is the average position of oppositions faced this season. Okay, so Liverpool 9.4, Chelsea 13.5, United have had the hardest run in at 8.2, Spurs 14.4, City 15.2, and Arsenal 11.8. So start of the season when it was like, oh yeah, we got the easiest start. Based off last season, that was a fair assessment, yeah. But based off the start of this season, we definitely haven't had the easiest start.
That's a very interesting stat.
And it's been I've had it a lot in it. Aaron's had it a lot as well, and you've seen it everywhere. Arsenal are, they've had this easy start and stuff like that. Man City have played 18th, 17th, 16th, 15th, 12th, and then Newcastle.
Could be 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th as well. They're that fucking good,
right? So they play these easy teams, and Man City is Man City, Arsenal is Arsenal. But Man City is getting all this praise, and nothing wrong with that at all. Arsenal plays statistically harder teams, and because we're actually doing well for once, we just get bombarded with absolute shit.
Are you comparing your Arsenal side to a Manchester City?
No, I said City here, Arsenal here. But I'm saying that City, statistically, this season, City have had easier games, and they get praise to the high heavens, which is completely fair. They're Man City, yeah. Arsenal have statistically had a harder start to the season, and they get bombarded.
You have to earn that kind of praise at the start of the season.
I get that, but even when we try and earn that praise and play well, we still get bombarded with random shit.
Yeah, you lot are so hard done by. To be fair,
if you're getting bantered
for you for playing well,
that kind
man.
of respect or expectation doesn't come in a season or half a season. That's like a 3, 4, 5 season kind of.
Yeah,
build up.
You're also one of the biggest clubs in the country and one of the most hated. It just happens. Whenever Liverpool have gone toe to toe with City, it's always been everyone hating Liverpool because
I thought United were box office, but Arsenal,
people don't care about City because they
massive.
No one has rivalries with their fans. No one cares about City.
It's because they came from fucking nowhere and all of a sudden just start winning.
But they haven't got enough for people to be like beefing them.
They haven't. Literally only relevant in the past 13 years.
It's peak when people are beefing the player's mum at events instead of fans. When Phil Foden's mum is getting clarted up and down corridors instead of fans.
When City lose, none of us here go, I'm gonna go banter my City mate. When Liverpool lose, let's go get Brad.
Yeah,
when United lose, I'm like, right, I'm getting straight on these three.
I've not stopped tweeting Brad 2-1 since
City.
I fucking love it.
City have lost. Oh, right, move on. I don't know a single City fan.
Yeah. We do know a Newcastle fan though, so Bran. Swiftly moving on from the Arsenal game.
The frauds of the season.
Easiest 75 quid I'm ever going to make.
What's the bet?
New game, brother.
They got to pay top 7 apparently. 7
for better.
What a fucking odd figure, by the way.
So let's go into it. Obviously, 6 draws. It's not the best.
Yeah.
But the draw against Bournemouth, absolutely horrific. We were absolutely pony. You think about our other fixtures, lost to Liverpool, obviously cheated.
Easy.
Didn't Newcastle get the extra minute and a half at the weekend?
Yeah, we did.
Didn't see their fans crying on the timeline.
It's different.
Couldn't score from it.
Different.
It's different. Game against Palace, we drew. VAR kind of fucked that one.
Yeah.
Wolves, we dominated majority of the game. Drew 1-1 away from home. Brighton, I'd take a 0-0 away from home all day.
Palace,
City 3-3. No, Palace, we dominated.
You should have beat Palace.
But we got done by.
I know you got done, but you can't use that as an excuse.
No. I am using it as an excuse. I am. But I'll get on to the other excuse I have. We just can't fucking finish.
No.
I don't know I know Isaac's only been there for 2 games now, and he was quite quiet against Bournemouth.
60 million flop.
Mate, we're addicted to hitting the post instead of the net. I don't know what it is. It's the final ball, and when it does drop to someone, it's either Miggy or Joelinton, and just that spot where you just want a little bit of composure, and someone with 2 feet instead of Miggy with his one left. And even then, that's a bit 50-50 at times. So it's not the best start with the investment that we've had, but I'm sure when Maxi's back, obviously. Go on.
Do you think it's? I remember seeing in pre-season they were saying it's going to be so much different this season for Newcastle because there's a name about them, there's an expectation. Last year, everyone would have they could have got away with playing counter-attacking football to everyone. Yeah, but now teams are going, you have the ball, we'll sit back. You're the bigger team now, and now you're struggling with that.
So that is what, obviously, we've all watched a fair few Newcastle games now, or at least especially the City one. We're now, compared to the last season, we're now dominating the majority of the ball. Obviously not against Liverpool, but in every other game, even City, we had, 60, I'd say about 60 minutes. It was only the last 30 minutes straight where we had about 9 or 10 touches.
Yeah, I remember watching it. Newcastle impressed me against City.
But every team that we played now, apart from Brighton and Liverpool, have now just gone, you know what? We're not going to get the ball off Joelinton. We're not going to get the ball off Dan Burn. We're not going to get it off Bruno. We'd just let you have it. And then when it does go into the box and it falls to people like Ryan Fraser, I celebrated when he came off and I saw who was coming on. It was the most roller coaster of emotions I've ever felt in my life. When I see Ryan Fraser come off, and I see Jacob Murphy run on, I don't know whether to cry or laugh. It's just, we're at that weird stage where without Maxi, there's no level of directness.
When's he due back?
After the international break.
Okay.
Also, you obviously played Bournemouth on the weekend. They scored a lovely goal, by the way. It was a really good goal.
It was, yeah.
I think we sat here after the Liverpool game or the Arsenal game or whatever it was and basically just said, this team's shit. Fuck this
They're going down.
They don't belong in the Premier League. They haven't lost to a team apart from them 3 big teams.
I think we have an apology.
They've
don't
get me wrong. They didn't look great.
They'll get an apology when they request from the board a new fucking stadium. When people haven't got to travel to that fucking tin pot shed, then I'll say sorry. But they have been playing. They have been playing and getting results. Not playing. They have been getting results against teams they theoretically shouldn't.
We said in the pre-season podcast that when you get football is all about results, and especially down at the bottom of the table, it is not about how you play. It's about getting those results. And Bournemouth have got those results against teams that they need to get results agast. The next 5 games: Brentford, Leicester, Fulham, Southampton, West Ham.
That's huge.
They can get some decent points there as well.
We looked at this during the watch along and said, if there's a run of games where you want Bournemouth to sort of get themselves up a bit, like start believing in themselves and actually go out and not just get like the 1-1 draws or the 2-2s, like to maybe nick 3 or 6 points.
Got 2 wins.
Yeah, but to go and nick more points from these games.
That's 12.
Compare.
Yeah, they're not.
That's
12. I was going to say,
realistically, them and Leicester should be swapped right now.
They're on the same points as Newcastle.
Yeah. Compare the chat about Bournemouth to Palace, right? Bournemouth, a shit team that shouldn't be in the Prem. Yeah. They get battered all the time. Palace, this really exciting team. Vieira should get manager of the month.
But Palace has a stadium.
At the same time, if Palace win their game in hand, they're on the same amount of points as Brentford, who for some reason, as we discussed earlier,
loads of hype.
People hype them up. So it's very early doors in regards to the Premier League, in regards to the table. But I mean, Bournemouth have had a very, very good start for Bournemouth.
Yeah. And considering their runs of games from the first 7,
considering they shifted 9 goals against Liverpool, it was enough to put anyone in the pressing pit. Fair play to them. All right.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when we sort of get to January, February, and we start getting a bit of stormy weather, and see if the stadium holds. But apart from that, if they make it through that, they might be all right.
There's just a bit of sheet metal that takes out half the pitch.
Someone could over the pitch. As well.
I think the important thing to remember with all those 4 or 5 clubs that you've just mentioned, it's still a very long season.
It's very early. Yeah.
And a few of those teams will be involved in the World Cup. I'd imagine probably not a lot, if any. Bournemouth players probably are, which could either improve or really put them even further into the ground. But at the end of the day, as I said, it's a very long season. Anything could change.
It is, and I would not be surprised if everything we said at the start of the season came true.
Yeah,
3 months after, like in March. Like when it gets to March and we look at the table and see Bournemouth on 14 points, right?
Newcastle in 6.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see Bournemouth.
Brand £75 night out in the town. Chaz is there crying into his sock. Aaron's had a transplant on top of his head.
God, why am I catching straight?
Sorry. I was just making sure that you were still breathing, brother.
It's bad.
You got Patricia Carlist over there, man. So Bournemouth,
just
shit stadium.
One thing quickly as well that you're missing massively. I still think. I know everyone mentions Gucci Band, but I don't think Callum Wilson gets mentioned enough about how important he is for you lot. Like the goals he scores and just the way his physicality up there. I know obviously you brought in a better striker than Chris Wood, but I still think Callum Wilson.
So there was
a lot.
There was a theory that with the way not last season but the season before was playing for Sociedad, was he was playing and drifting out on the right. Whether there'd be a fundamental way to play Wilson up top and
like Spurs do with Charles and Kane.
Yeah, just slipping in that channel and dropping to use his physicality and height, but not playing as an out-and-out winger, but playing as like
an inside forward.
An inside forward.
All the time for manager, it's fantastic.
I give it. You get sacked all the time.
I give it 6 months before the Premier League and Newcastle realise that Isak can't score goals in the Premier League, and you're playing a double pivot of Joelinton and Isak. I give it 6 months.
Even that, I'm happy to take the Brazilian Xavi right? And the Swedish Iniesta, easy every day of the week. Can you imagine Xavi if he had a build like Joe Linton? Oh my God! Eat my ass and call me Derek, man. We're winning the league.
Stadium, shit.
Should we introduce our new feature?
New feature.
Take it away, Cal.
So for people on YouTube, you can see what I'm about to put right slap bang in the middle. It is each game week we'll do one individual of the boys. We will do their team, and as you can see, that is mine for current game week 8. Bearing in mind, there's a lot of games that have been cancelled.
I can't see it.
Okay, Jim. Well, if you look here.
There you go, I can see it.
Mate. Right.
For the Spotify users, Cal will read it out for you right now.
Yeah, I'll go through it just quickly. Look. So in goal, we've got Begovic. And there's very good reason for this. I was waiting for this. No. Copy is fine. This is where we discuss the team of the week. Okay, I've got it all sorted. Okay. So, for Begovic, again, he had a clean sheet against West Ham, I think it was. I've actually
West Ham.
It was West Ham.
Yep.
He had 14 shots, 4 shots on target. I assume all saved or missed, whatever, right?
My goat.
They're on target and they didn't concede. They're all fucking saved,
blocked by defender.
Exactly. Or hit the post, right?
That's off target.
You idiot. What are you doing in this group talking about football?
Yeah.
How is it on target?
Oh my God.
Anyway.
How is this man swindled a football podcast?
Oh my God, man.
Are we done?
You've had a sticker, haven't you, son?
Against all the other keepers that have played, they've either not kept a clean sheet or not many shots have been put against it. Like, I would have loved to put in Ramsdale, but I think he had like 1 shot on target.
Okay, we're with you. No one's argued against you.
Well, Jim, I think it was you that put up the little fight against it.
That's hilarious.
I can't lie. I don't even know who.
Argument.
I had to Google who he plays for. I had no idea.
Everton's backup keeper. Anyway, so I've gone with the back 3 of Eric Dyer, Saliba, and Cancelo. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, Eric Dyer, he got a goal. Don't worry, he conceded 2 goals as a defender, but he got his goal. He put in a solid defense, and he got an England call up. I know that's not part of the Premier League call up, but anyway. Saliba, fantastic class performance for Arsenal against I've already forgotten the team. Brentford. And obviously Cancelo doing Cancelo type things. Realistically, I ran out of defenders that I could put in, so I looked at my I looked at my FPL and saw he got 9 points. I thought that'll fucking do me.
I was going to say maybe like a Bournemouth defender gets in there just for the sake of it.
No, this is where the comments are going to come from, you guys. I already know. Okay, so we've got De Bruyne with his 2 assists. Again, De Bruyne type. Xhaka. Best player in an Arsenal shirt at the weekend. Paulina, I think that's how you say it.
What a goal he scored.
Yeah, what fantastic goal. And also a good performance for anyone that did watch the game. And
sexy.
And then Brick's main man.
Let's talk about
Daddy Iwobi. Let's fucking talk.
We had to mention it.
It was really good.
But mate, Newcastle are going to sign him. Newcastle are going to sign him. Iwobi, Joel Linton pivot, mate.
The way we talk about Joel Linton, Iwobi is, not as good in my opinion, but he's doing his bit for Everton, moving position and holding that centre of the park.
He's a very, very stable centrepiece of what Everton are trying to not concede with. Yeah. That's the way I look at him. Like he's like flies around shit. He's always there. Like that's it. Yeah. That's Iwobi.
I think the only other person you could have had instead of Iwobi is another Everton player, and that Idrissa's. How do you say? Idrissa. He had a really, really good game.
Yeah,
really good game.
Yeah, he did.
Iwobi was class.
Yeah. Look, there are shouts for Saka with his 2 assists. Even Martinelli, I thought had a really good game. Sorry, not good goal.
Yeah, but they're wingers, Cal.
But at the end of the day, look, you can't just have an Arsenal team. You know what I'm saying? So,
mate. Stiffest midfield 4 I've seen actually.
That's a 4-3-1-3.
They're holding a literally in COD terms holding a pre-aim that midfield 4. Nothing is getting through that. That is the Thames barrier, mate.
Skill combined.
Yeah, 1-star skill, 99 twat.
I'd put them up a little hand-v-hand combat against any other fucking mid 4.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mate, ain't nobody getting these boys off the the ball.
Let me talk.
And obviously the front three is of Erling Haaland, Grealish, and Son. The only controversial is potentially Jesus, but
I say, what did Grealish do? I didn't watch the game.
Grealish had a fucking really good game. He got
100 million's about fucking time.
No, it was. Yeah, his first start in a while, and he set pace on their back line.
Yeah, man.
Got someone sent off as well, which is just typical Jackie G things.
You're Cantona fully.
That wasn't a red card on Twitter.
It was bad.
It was as soon as it happened, I just looked and just thought that just looked bad. Like when someone's running and they get stopped like that with a foot.
I thought it could have been a potential rib breaker.
Yeah,
I really did.
You know, the way he pointed at the ball, even winning the ball there,
on Grealish,
he got nowhere near it.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I've got to say, I don't think your team's too controversial, to be fair.
No,
I think the only shouts are potentially at midfield. But look, I'm happy that you all.
There weren't many games on, so
you've been pretty safe. Where's Phil Jones and where's Oliver Skip? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, come on.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Sipple, we should be outraged. Where is Skip in this? Like, can you imagine an Iwobi Skip pivot in the middle right there? Sensational. But yeah, no, you know what?
Right.
You know what?
Talking about Oliver Skip.
Cal's got the easiest one here.
But yeah, someone's got to draw the short straw and get an absolute fucking rogue weekend of just goals.
The only thing I'm changing now, I'm putting Neil Moppe in. Because Haaland's only scored one and Moppe scored the winner.
Cal, just do me a favour. That template, just keep Haaland glued up top.
Yeah,
because I very much doubt he's going to be moving.
I've literally just pulled up his Premier League profile, right? He's played 7 games in the Premier League. He scored 11 goals.
Yeah, but it's team of the week, Cal.
Yes.
Week.
No, I'm talking about Erling Haaland as a whole.
Week.
Yeah, team of the week.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Right.
So
anyway,
we're gonna say the England team that we would like to start the Friday game against Italy. I think.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I think the first thing we should do is get the players in there that we think are all going to start. And I mean, you lot. I don't think you will disagree with this, but in my opinion, the guaranteed starters are Reece James, Bellingham, Rice, and Harry Kane.
I don't think Bellingham starts. I don't think. Well, so
what we
think. Oh, okay.
Also, we should say
formation.
4-4-3.
Formation. We're going with a 4.
Todd Bowley's from
4-3-3.
4-3-3. So if we go, we'll go from back to front.
Yeah.
Keeper.
I disagree with the Reece James one.
Right.
I think Walker may be in there for us.
Let's start.
No, if we're going 4-4-2, 4-3-3, I think that he would rather play Trent.
We're not doing what?
We're starting as goalie.
Let's start keeper.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First of all, so there's 2 clear options here. And
that's true.
They both are fantastic players. One of them's been relegated before, and one of them's on loan from Man United. So Nick Pope and Dean Henderson for me is a toss up between the two. I'd love to see Henderson. To be honest,
go round. Brick wants Hendo.
Go.
Brick, you go. Who do you want?
I want Hendo just because he's a United boy. He's lost his way a little bit. We've broken his heart. Look. We've broken his heart. I can see where he's coming from. I've seen the light.
Yes, Jim, you may go to the toilet.
No, I want to talk. Are we all giving our reasons for every player?
No.
We'll just go around quickly. Who you want in?
I've just thinking Dean Henderson.
Right, Henderson for Brick. Cal.
Nick Pope.
Aaron. Chaz.
Ramsdale.
Sip.
Ramsdale.
Cops.
Hope.
Fucking
Jim.
Hope.
Right, I think Pope should be, but I think it'll be Ramsdale.
Really?
I think the thing is, right, is that you've got a goalkeeper that is in one of the best teams in the league, who's sitting top of the league, and who has arguably one of the best distribution in the league. I personally think Ramsdale.
I think that's why. I think Pope is an out-and-out keeper from what we've seen anyway this season, but Newcastle are playing Newcastle are a lot more susceptible to attacks and shots. So we're going to see
I think with Nick
more and more
Pope,
saves.
I think he's just a safer keeper. I think Ramsdale almost tries too much. And that's where his potential mistakes have and could come from. It's my only. Ramsdale is in very good form with Arsenal and also performing very well.
Don't get me wrong. I would love it.
I think he's so overrated.
I agree.
Mate, the amount of saves I see him.
Yeah, he's got a mistake or two in him.
Copley, he's got your trim as well, you know.
I would absolutely love to see Pope in there, but I think there's a very, very good shout for both of them, and I can see Ramsdale starting that first game off.
I just think Ramsdale's distribution is something that we'll play on so much that we do.
One of the best in the
league. With Pickford obviously out, our fast breaks are going to be one of our biggest things, I think. Yep. And Ramsdale's distribution, I think, puts him. It
is like one of the best in the league, but I don't think we play like that.
This is what we want. This is what we want, Jim. This isn't what Southgate wants. That James Blunt lookalike, all right? This is what we want. This is what we want. We've got Mauricio Pochettino as our manager, free agent, sacked Southgate after these rounds. Whoever we've got Bran, we've got Bran as our manager. So, we agree. So was it Nick Pope or was it?
Go Nick Pope. All right. So we'll go Pope in the 6. So right back, Cal.
I think if we're playing a 4-back, I'd like to see Reece James start.
Gaz.
Reece James.
Sip.
Reece James.
Aaron.
Reece James.
Brick.
Trips in a 4-back.
Right. Copley.
I've got Trips in the team, just somewhere else.
Yeah, I've got Trips in the team somewhere else.
Copley.
In a 4-back.
Jim's livid. I can't wait to get to him. Jim, you go.
Walker for his England stuff.
Not even close, Reece James.
Right. I'd go Reece James right back as well. So consensus is left back Trips.
Trips.
Yeah, it's got to be Trips, isn't it?
I would have loved it to be someone like Mitchell Johnson, but Miggy had him on strings. So
Trips played left back.
Tyreek Mitchell.
Tyreek Mitchell. Sorry, why am I going Mitchell Johnson?
How's that?
Yeah, so I think we all agree that James and Trips fullbacks is
you know what? I'll change my answer.
In the Euros.
I feel like Chilwell. If Chilwell could play more, I would put Chilwell in. I think Chilwell's quality.
But
also,
Chilwell's
right now. We remember is that Trips' set pieces.
Not only that, but with Graham Potter going to Chelsea, it's going to be very, very rare that Chilwell's going to play over Cucurella.
Yeah. It's criminal.
Fullback, centre backs.
This is hard.
So let's say both centre backs. There's not the one position. So for me, Stones and Tomori.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll tell you what,
that's exactly the same as mine.
So Aaron and Chaz have gone Stones Tomori.
Cal the same as well.
Yeah, I'll go Stones Tomori.
Right.
I'm also the same.
Are we all agreeing Stones is in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Stones is 100% in there.
I also think Tomori should 100% be in there.
Yeah.
No,
I know.
I don't.
I think we've got to say that.
I haven't watched enough of him at.
That's one thing I'm surprised
Milan.
In terms of people saying
this isn't for World Cup though. This is a friendly, so I could.
Also, what you want to see,
to play Tomori, I think is now.
Yeah.
He's a league winner. He at the age of 21, 22, maybe even a little bit older now. Actually, I'm not too sure.
Even 20.
But even he's a young centre back, and he's already won it in Italy.
Again.
From what I can gather, he had a very good season.
But I think Charlie was probably just about to say it. It's probably important to note. Maguire will more than likely start. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't.
Oh no, Maguire starting.
This is what we want.
No.
We don't want Greek.
Rick, I think it's important to note.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if in the World Cup if Maguire does start, and it's not because obviously. But the thing is, right? It's also we're literally like 2 months away from the World Cup. Maguire's not going to be playing for Man United. Even in the Europa League, they don't play Maguire. And going into the World Cup, you have to have match fitness. You have to have match fitness. As much as Maguire hasn't
in the Euros though.
Yeah, but it might be different this year. I don't know. As much as he doesn't really put a foot wrong for England.
I think he plays in the World Cup.
He weren't match fit for the Euros. He came off an injury.
No, you know what?
I don't know if he was fully fit, but he came off an
injury
at the end of the last season.
Consensus is Stones is in there 100%. Yeah,
I would really
Tomori
like
for the majority, but who would
I'd just like to see him in a friendly, especially.
I disagree with Stones. I would like to see someone new in there. I'd like to see a Guehi or a Cody potentially in there alongside Tomori. I would like to see.
I would like to see Stones and Dyer.
From what I've seen,
Dyer would get his Cody.
From what I've seen, though, Guehi's been unbelievable. Like for Palace,
I think he has, but we're seriously looking over. I'm seriously looking over Dyer.
But has he? He hasn't been. He was good last year.
He's been really good.
I can't say I've noticed it.
I don't sit around and go.
I definitely think if it's obviously Barry's going to start, but in our world, I would love to see a Stones Dyer or a Stones Tomori.
We've also got to realise
that I was going to say you can't just experiment with all the players because this is also a Nations League, which we're not even getting through this group. I was going to say we're probably not getting through the group, but this is also our warm up games for the World Cup.
It also puts us in pot 2 for the Euros. Which isn't good
for the World Cup or for the Euros.
It does actually make quite a bit. Obviously, I know we're talking about what we want, but the only reason I think Dyer might is if he plays a 3-back because Dyer at the
if he plays a 3-back,
if he plays a 3-back, I put Walker in as well though.
It'll be Dyer, Walker, and
so we've got Pope between the sticks. We've got right back Reece James. We've got Stones Tomori, left back Trips.
Midfield.
Yeah.
So we've got midfield 3.
That sitting midfield player, I think we can all agree.
I think,
it's Rice.
In my opinion, right. Well, the midfield pivot. I was going to say Rice and Bellingham. That's what I want to say.
Rice Jude.
All right. Yeah, Rice Jude. There's the
anyone
two
disagree?
people sitting. Yeah.
We're playing 4-2-3 one, right?
4-3-3.
4-3-3.
4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 is.
I don't think we play. We do play 4-3, and he plays 4-3.
I'd sit Declan sitting, Jude box to box, and then I'm going to say my other one now. I'm going to put Foden in the midfield.
That's exactly what I've got.
I was thinking.
That's exactly who I'll put Madison in place of.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we've seen it falling. We've seen it. I know it was a friendly against some shit team. I think it could have been San Marino. It could have been San Marino, but he played really well in that midfield role, pinging balls over the top and stuff like that. And we've said before, we think he could be a better midfielder. Obviously, it's quite hard in that City team.
So 3 midfielders, we've got Rice, Jude, Foden.
And in regards to the front 3, I know, I personally think it's going to be the front 3 that he's going to play in the World Cup. I think he'll play. That's what I want to see on Friday. I think if we go right wing first,
Saka.
Looking at the players that
right wing Saka for me.
Saka.
Without a doubt. I also think a right side of Saka and Reece James could be really, really good.
Dirty.
Really good. And then left wing for me is Sterling. Although he has. Cal says no.
I disagree. No. If we're doing it off what we want and how this season has obviously gone already, I think Grealish has to go.
I think Grealish does, and I'll explain why. Right?
Grealish shouldn't be there off current form, let alone starting.
But the point is we're looking at the sheet that has been announced, and if we're doing it of who we want and what has Sterling done for Chelsea realistically. He hasn't really done a lot. He's got a couple of goals here and there.
I personally think Sterling's looked quite good.
Sterling's done more than Grealish has this year.
I think Grealish offers more than Sterling.
I think so as well.
I also do.
I think if we think Grealish is guaranteed to win you 3 or 4 fouls in and around that 20-25 yard area, that's hands down. That's what he's on the pitch for, just to get it.
But then also Sterling in England is guaranteed goals.
No. Look, I've seen far too many times Raheem Sterling squandering about 8 chances and then scoring 1 and being hailed the hero of England. He's not fucking going anywhere near my team. Get Jackie G in there. Getting some salt water spray in his hair, slick it back, put a headband in, get him my left wing.
The only thing, goal in 23 England appearances is Jack Grealish.
The only thing.
Oh, there to score goals. He's a
winger.
He doesn't assist.
He doesn't score.
Mate, he was an absolute menace.
How many goals has Saka scored?
Mate, at the end of the day, when you've got Jude Bellingham and Foden and Kane going up and down the pitch, I don't think you need Jack Grealish to be scoring goals. Jude scores it for Bristol quite.
Where did most of our goals in the Euros come from?
Sterling
on left wing.
But again, we're not doing it off who we think is going to. We're going off what we.
I think that's who I want.
What they're saying is the consensus from all of these is that Sterling gets in.
Nah, man.
I can see why.
He was our best player in Euros.
Been doing recently?
Honestly, I think he's criminally underrated for England.
I think he's been very good this year as well.
I love Sterling.
The only thing that I can say.
No. For England, yeah, absolutely, Aaron. I was saying really to Charlie. Sorry.
The only thing that I can say about Grealish is that in Pep's team, he is a robot. Everyone in Pep's team is a robot, and he does what he's told. You don't get to really see him attempt to do what he done at Aston Villa. In England, it may be a bit different, where he does get a bit more freedom, and that's the only time. No, in Pep's team, he does what he's told. It's not a case of he has that freedom to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, no.
I think in the England setup, you could potentially see a better Jack Grealish than you see in England. But in my opinion, you cannot put Jack Grealish at left wing over Sterling.
I don't think he'll get as much freedom in the England setup.
Crazy.
Obviously not the way we want to play, which is really hard to say how we want to play. But I don't think he'll get much freedom in that England.
I think when we're picking it, I think all of us are in two minds of who, like our ultimate team of the players selected, and also kind of a realistic.
No, but
I want Sterling to start.
For me, you're saying there's two different ways we're looking at it, and in both ways, Grealish doesn't fit in. Yeah. Sterling's always outperformed for England, and he's in better form in the league. Like, there's no.
Sipple, help me out here, brother.
There's no way you think Grealish has been playing well recently.
No, but I don't think Sterling's done much better on himself either.
I'm stuck like quite literally on the fence with both of them, right? Because Sterling, I'd say, offers more, but I could watch a 25-minute video about chances squandered by Sterling. Like if he had an inch, like a little more clinical finishing, it wouldn't even be close. But the amount of times we've seen Sterling like all across the box, and he still doesn't get it.
Grealish is wasteful as well. That's why he has fuck all career goals.
Grealish isn't there to score goals.
But he's a winger.
Exactly.
He's not Mohamed Salah, Jim. He's
I'm not being
Jack Grealish.
Not there to score goals or get assists.
The argument, Jim's argument back is, as a winger, you're expected to get goals. That's one thing Saka gets. Is one thing that you as a United fan have against him is he doesn't do enough. He doesn't contribute to goals. He gets assists, but he doesn't score enough. Sterling does that.
No,
Sterling does that.
The one thing I have against Saka is he plays like absolute shit, then pops up with 2 assists and a goal.
Yeah.
If anything, it's the opposite of what Sterling does. Sterling looks good, but he's fucking shit.
Yeah, but you think Saka's been shit this season?
Yeah, I just hate him. Look, I'll admit.
That's where your ball level is.
Look, I'll admit I've got a bit of bias against Bukayo Saka, all right? I just think he doesn't look comfortable on the ball and everything like that. If we're talking about comfortability on the ball, Jackie G is the man for me. That's it.
I think with the winger position, we're going to have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, look,
consensus was Sterling.
My final note would be: I've played enough Football Managers to know Jack Grealish does more than Sterling. I think we'll leave it there.
Ivan Toney's going on the left. I've decided.
On Friday, everyone here knows that Harry Kane, unless he gets some horrid injury, he starts in the World Cup. On Friday, I would like to see Toney start, and that's purely
to see what he could offer.
That's purely because I don't think Southgate knows he's like 100% his striker options or for the World Cup. I don't think. Well, he probably does because Ollie Watkins is shite. Cam Wilson is injured, but I think I want to see Toney start on Friday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too opposed to that.
Yeah. We all agree.
The issue is we need to win, so I'm just going to start.
Yeah,
I'm going to say.
We all agree that Rapture has started if we see Jared Bowen on the starting 11. We'll see the 4 horsemen.
If I see Jared Bowen or Mason Mount in that starting 11,
because we are going to see Mason Mount.
We're going to see Mason Mount.
Mason Mount as a right winger again, I'll kill myself.
We're going to see Mason Mount on the wing. We're not going to see him as
centre mid.
No, I guarantee it.
Yes, Cal, what have you got to say?
Cal,
as one of the biggest advocates for Mason Mount, the fact he's been called up is absolutely fucking criminal.
James Madison's probably sitting at home going, "What the fuck do I have to do?"
I also think that come the World Cup, I think Rashford will be going instead of Bowen as well.
Yeah,
if current form stays the way it's going, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, now you say it's even pretty mad that Bowen's been fucking called up without shit West Ham.
He hasn't been playing well.
I think he's been called up based on merit of last season. I can only imagine.
He's doing a James St. Patrick simulation, man. Fucking ghost.
He's gone over Madison as well.
Where is he?
Right, mate, we've got a good memory. Realist for our team. For
so you have Nick Pope, Reece James, Stones, Tomori, Trips, Bellingham, Declan Rice, Phil Foden, Saka.
Kane.
I think it was 50-50 between Kane and Tony. Kane and Sterling. I'm saying Sterling.
Majority Sterling, yeah.
Majority Sterling.
And
I don't agree with that. Anyway, yeah.
Do you know what? I don't even think I really care too much about the team on Friday. I more care about the way I watch the team play. Like, it's got to be different.
What's going to be funny?
Come Friday, mate, it's going to be a 5-back. So
I was going to say, we see the 5-back, big Barry Maguire starting, Luke Shaw starting.
Collectively, just
Tyrone Mings on the bench with his pom-poms.
Like, very big name. Obviously, they beat us in the final. But if you actually look, they've been playing shit.
Well, they didn't
Everton didn't even make the World Cup. They're shit. We should beat them.
But that's a curse, isn't it?
Who do we have in front?
Everyone who's won the Euros failed to qualify.
Italy first.
Hence why we just said Italy.
I kind of zoned out.
Germany.
Right.
Yeah, so that's our combined 11 for this Friday.
And we want to see not what we think we're going
to.
It ain't going to happen, but
no, it ain't going to happen. But look,
and if it does, subscribe.
1-0 win, penalty or scrappy Sterling goal.
Yeah. If that 11 comes out starting, subscribe.
Subscriber England won't win the World Cup. That's why. The nation of England. It's on your shoulders. Subscribe right now. Get us to 1,000 subs. Quick time, come on.
If I see Man, I ain't watching that game.
I'll see him and I'll be like, fuck off, and then just me and Kieran will be in the park.
Oh, Brit, we can watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, perfect. Oh yes, it's Friday night as well. Beautiful. But that just about sort of rounds up the podcast, guys. Slightly different, less on the matches, more on just good conversation, camaraderie, good laughs, smiles, and warriors in the garden.
People on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're listening to it in the car, just imagine 7 gorgeous men and Jim on a podcast.
Someone. Each week a new target each week.
Right, Jim.
You should have left it at 7 gorgeous blokes and 1 ugly bastard, and then just everyone.
I should have left.
Who is it?
Down below, who you think the ugly bastard?
I wanted to start laughing, but I knew that I might have been in with a shout.
He goes, "Why are you laughing?
What are you laughing at, Brick?"
Jim,
get us gone.
Jim, that's it. Griddy us out for the outro, please, brother. Thank you very much for tuning in. Link in the description for all of our socials. Drop us a follow, drop us some love, and
peace.
Yeah, peace.